Have you seen enough strange things? Wait until you meet Guatemala. Here, the ground can collapse and swallow an airplane. Men marrying 4 wives is normal, and Congress meets in a movie theater. That's not all. This is the country with the world's shortest women, real professional mourners, and many more surprises. Let's dive into 15 taboos and bizarre facts about Guatemala right now. Number 15. The only country in Central America to change its national calendar because of a volcano. In most countries, school and holiday schedules are set by the Ministry of Education or Culture. But in Guatemala in 2018, the Fuego volcano, just 25 miles from the capital, took over. After a massive eruption on June 3rd, a 7-mile-high ash cloud covered the sky, and lava rushed down the slopes as fast as a car, directly affecting more than 190 people and forcing thousands of families to evacuate. Villages in Zacatepeques, Escuintla, and Chimaltenango immediately delayed the start of school by 4 to 6 weeks, as schools became shelters. Traditional festivals in June and July were moved to the end of the year to avoid lingering ash, and even local authorities set a danger hour from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. No one could go outside if seismic alerts were high, because hot ash and pyroclastic flows could hit within minutes. On the wall calendars of farming families around Fuego, market days and full moons are marked in red with notes like, depending on volcano status. For them, time isn't just days and months, but the breathing of the volcano. When it's calm, they plant seeds. When it's rumbling, they stay indoors. Guatemala is one of the rare Central American countries to rewrite its calendar because of a sleeping giant underground. A vivid reminder that nature always has the final say in human life. Number 14. Men are allowed to marry 4 wives. Can you believe that deep in the densest jungle of North America, there's still a community where men can have up to 4 wives? Meet the Lacandan people, one of the most isolated and mysterious Maya descendants, living in the Lacandan jungle that stretches from Chiapas through Guatemala to Honduras. With only about 950 people scattered across 4 small villages about 10 miles from the Guatemala border, they don't use phones, have no internet, speak their own language called Hachtan, wear long white robes, and believe in absolute peace. But what shocks the world most? Polygamy isn't just accepted, it's tradition. A man can have up to 4 wives, and it's not considered wrong at all. Why? The reason is simple and practical. Here, men own land and hunt, while women cook, wash, care for children, and gather fruit. In a wild environment without public services or machines, more wives mean higher survival productivity. Every day, families gather bananas, coconuts, papayas, onions, roots, and over 100 kinds of fruits, vegetables, and herbs from the jungle. Protein comes from fish, frogs, snails, turtles, and wild bees. No chemicals, no preservatives, a truly natural diet. The result? The Lacandan people have a much higher average lifespan than the 74-year average of urban Mexicans. Some elders live up to 98, still healthy, with all their teeth and sharp minds, according to American traveler Drew Binsky, one of the few Westerners allowed to visit for 72 hours. This tribe rarely opens up to outsiders. You can't just book a tour here. Drew had to get a local friend to vouch for him to enter the village. So, what do you think? Is marrying multiple wives for survival a sin? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 13. The shortest women in the world. Guatemala holds a world record that few want to mention. Its women are the shortest on Earth, averaging just about 4 feet 11 inches, 140 meters, according to global data from the NCD Risk Factor Collaboration. But this isn't just about genetics or small build, as many think. Behind these small bodies is a long history of injustice. Chronic childhood malnutrition, 46% according to UNICEF, the highest in the Americas, child labor, lack of access to health care, clean water, education, and especially domestic violence as a background to daily life. In rural highlands like Huehuetenango or Quiche, where most indigenous Maya live, many girls carry water from a young age, work in the fields, or babysit all day instead of going to school. Many are forced into early marriage and pregnancy. The result? Generations of women grow up with the body size of a fifth grader in the U.S., but must be mothers, family breadwinners, and sometimes the main laborers in steep cornfields. Yet, these women carry the weight of the agricultural economy, planting corn, weaving, raising kids, cooking, and preserving Maya traditions. Many are illiterate, but have incredible memories to pass down ancestral history, rituals, and herbal medicine. At highland markets, you'll see them in bright scarves, carrying loads 3 times their weight, stepping over stone steps with amazing endurance, as if these tiny bodies are carrying the whole world. Number 12. Safety tips for travelers in Guatemala. Guatemala is a beautiful, colorful, and culturally vibrant country, but like any destination, its wonders don't protect you from real risk. One common concern is pickpocketing, especially in crowded places like markets, bus stations, or central squares. If you usually keep your wallet in a backpack, stop. Many travelers recommend keeping cash in your front shirt pocket. It's a simple but very effective way to discourage quick fingers. Another rule: avoid walking at night, even in places that seem safe like Antigua. Local data shows most robberies happen between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. Thinking about driving yourself in Guatemala? Many who tried advise against it if you're not used to mountain roads, slippery passes, and unpredictable signs. Many rural roads aren't maintained, are prone to landslides, and have no streetlights. In the city, traffic laws are mostly for reference. For long trips, choose private minibuses or tourist shuttles. They're affordable, comfortable, and much safer. Of course, you're not coming to Guatemala just to worry. The key is to prepare well so you can fully enjoy your experience. When you feel secure, you'll see this country isn't just about volcanoes and cloud forests. It's about warm people, legendary culture, and surprisingly real moments. Number 11. The cheapest place to learn Spanish. Want to soak up Spanish while sunbathing by Lake Atitlan? Guatemala is the cheapest place in the region. One-on-one lessons cost just $7-10 per hour, and a week-long package with 20 hours of classes, 7 nights of homestay, and 3 home-cooked meals a day is under $250, about the price of 1 night in a mid-range Miami hotel. Living costs are low. Local coffee is $1, and a filling dinner at the night market is $3. The accent here is slow, clear, and neutral, rated broadcast standard by many U.S. schools, so beginners won't be overwhelmed as in Mexico City or Buenos Aires. After morning classes, you can head to the Atitlan docks, called the Napa Valley of Central America, and practice listening with local baristas. On weekends, take a tour to climb the Tikal pyramids for just $60 for 2 days, including sleeper bus, and review ancient Maya vocabulary in the middle of the jungle. Interested in this combo? Comment too, and subscribe to Life ABC. We'll share more details in the comments. Number 10. The world's most colorful cemetery. If you think cemeteries must be gloomy, gray places with cold stone markers and whistling wind, Guatemala will shock you in the brightest way. Here, cemeteries aren't for mourning. They're vibrant stages for family love, where memories are shown in colors. Graves are painted in bright pink, deep blue, golden yellow, or vivid orange. No rules except one: paint it the favorite color of the deceased. Visit on November 1st to witness one of the world's most unique and beautiful funeral traditions. Instead of crying, Guatemalans wear colorful clothes, bring food, musical instruments, and fresh flowers to the cemetery, like a picnic. They clean graves, talk to the dead, share old stories, and celebrate the life that was. The highlight is the Barrilet Gigantes Giant Kite Festival. In places like Santiago Zacatepeques, people fly giant kites up to 49 feet tall, hand-painted with religious symbols, ancestor portraits, and messages written on colored paper sent to the sky for their loved ones. Some kites are so big they need a whole team to hold the ropes, or are tied to trees, a ritual to connect 2 worlds. Have you ever visited a cemetery that made you smile? Share your experience in the comments below. Number 9. They use old American school buses as public transport. In Guatemala, public transport isn't just a way to get around. For millions, it's a place of hope, prayers, and daily survival. Chicken buses are actually old American school buses sold cheaply after their service ends. In Guatemala, they're reborn by local artists, hand-painted with dragons, angels, the Virgin Mary, fitted with LED lights, glittery ribbons, and sometimes even Bible verses on the windshield. But what makes them special is that they're treated like mobile temples. Many drivers light incense each morning before starting, sprinkle holy water on the hood, or tie coconuts, pineapples, even live chickens to the front as offerings. Some buses are named after saints like San Cristobal or San Miguel, with pictures of the Virgin Mary, angel statues, and handwritten prayers behind the wheel. God is my co-pilot. It might sound strange, but in a country where bus accidents are a leading cause of death, these acts aren't superstition. They're a way to keep hope alive. Guatemala's roads are dangerous. Winding mountains, overloaded buses, no insurance, no technical checks, and fierce competition. Drivers race for passengers like it's life or death. There are over 10,000 chicken buses across Guatemala, with fares from just 0.13 tours 65. They carry people, goods, even chickens, pigs, electronics, wooden chairs, sacks of rice. They're the lifeline for the urban and rural poor. Number 8. Never take photos of locals without permission. Guatemala is so beautiful that sometimes its beauty becomes a trap for insensitive tourists. In colorful markets like Chichicastenango or the Highland Maya villages, you'll see people wearing hand-embroidered huipil clothes in vivid reds, deep purples, golden yellows, and emerald greens. The Highland sun shines on century-old patterns, and you can't resist pulling out your camera. But stop, seriously. In Guatemala, taking photos of indigenous people without permission is taboo and even seen as a spiritual violation. Many Maya communities believe cameras can steal souls or disrupt the body's energy. For them, a photo isn't just an image, it's a part of the soul. If you take a photo without asking, you're not just rude, you're stealing a sacred part of them. There have been cases where tourists were asked to delete photos on the spot or even chased out of the market. Sometimes it led to minor violence, especially in less touristy areas. A cultural survival survey found nearly 40% of indigenous Guatemalans refuse public photos, and over 60% want tourists to ask before photographing any rituals, costumes, or children. Number 7. The strangest job for Guatemalan women, professional mourners. In Guatemala, some women have a job that sounds made up. Professional mourners at funerals. They're called lloronas, and their job is to cry as loudly and mournfully as possible. The louder, the better the pay. It's a long-standing tradition from ancient Maya culture, still practiced today in places like Huehuetenango, Totonicapán, and the Quiché Highlands, home to many indigenous Maya. According to the Guatemalan Institute of Anthropology, about 12–15% of funerals in indigenous areas have at least one professional llorona, and in some communities, up to 80% of funerals feature group wailing rituals. Why is crying so important? Folk belief says the louder the crying, the easier the soul passes on. A silent funeral is seen as a bad omen. Families who can't cry properly hire lloronas to raise the collective voice for the departed. A professional llorona can earn $13–40 per funeral, a significant sum in rural areas where over 60% live below the poverty line. The best lloronas are often in high demand, with advanced bookings. They don't just cry, they roll on the ground, beat their chests, wail, call the deceased's name like family, making the funeral heavy, sacred, and for many, a truly complete farewell. Number 6. The deepest sinkhole in Central America is in Guatemala. Imagine a giant hole suddenly opening in the middle of a city, almost as wide as an NBA basketball court and as deep as a 10-story building, big enough to swallow a whole building in minutes. This sci-fi scenario happened in Guatemala City in May 2010, after Tropical Storm Agatha. A massive sinkhole opened up about 66 feet wide, over 20 yards, and 100 feet deep, big enough to stand a Boeing 737 upright without the nose sticking out. Overnight, a whole block of homes, shops, power poles, and pavement vanished, leaving a black sky well, like a volcano crater in the capital. More than 1,000 people had to evacuate. Why? Guatemala City is built on limestone and salt layers, easily eroded by water. Poor underground drainage let rain and wastewater build up for years. When Agatha dumped huge rains, the thin topsoil gave way, and the ground collapsed as if someone pulled a rug from under it. Sinkholes aren't rare in countries like the US or Mexico, but the one in Guatemala shocked the world with its almost perfectly round and vertical shape, like it was drilled by a giant. Many thought the photos were fake until NASA confirmed they were real satellite images. Number 5. Drinking alcohol is banned at certain times of day. In a country where cold beer is always available at roadside shops and homemade corn liquor is part of the culture, you wouldn't expect drinking to have curfew hours. But Guatemala has such a strange law that even a can of beer can get you in trouble. Many places strictly ban drinking alcohol in public, outside homes or licensed restaurants, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. That means if you're walking in the square with an open beer at 6:01 p.m., police can stop you, fine you, or ask you to leave immediately. Why? Mainly to prevent nighttime trouble. Drinking leads to arguments, violence, and accidents. Guatemala has faced serious unrest, and alcohol has been part of the public safety problem. The curfew is an effort to restore order, though it often confuses foreigners. In reality, many locals ignore it. You'll see groups of young people hanging out, drinking beer after 6 p.m. In rural areas, small stores often just close the front window, but still sell under the counter through a back opening.
Number 4. Congress meets in a movie theater. Have you ever seen a country's lawmakers sitting on red velvet seats, holding popcorn, staring at a big screen? Not to watch a blockbuster, but to discuss the national budget? It sounds like satire, but it happened in Guatemala in 2020. When the Congress building became too damaged after years of neglect, and thousands of angry protesters surrounded downtown to oppose budget cuts to health and education, lawmakers made a shocking decision: move all legislative activities to a commercial movie theater. Photos of dozens of suited lawmakers lounging in comfy seats, watching PowerPoint slides like movie trailers, instantly went viral across Central America. Many joked, "This isn't politics anymore. It's Netflix for politicians." While outside, people banged pots, burned banners, and shouted, "El pueblo tiene hambre." The people are hungry. Inside, Congress looked like a film premiere. A local reporter commented, "If meeting in a theater is about transparency, at least turn on the lights." This story highlights a harsher truth. Public trust in Guatemala's institutions is at a record low. According to a 2021 Latino Barometro survey, only 13% of Guatemalans trust their Congress, one of the lowest rates in Latin America. Number 3. Unwritten taboos at the most chaotic intersections in Central America. Think your city's traffic is crazy? Try crossing an intersection in Guatemala City at rush hour. No traffic lights, no right-of-way. No one waits. Just blaring horns, wild swerves, and old buses racing like they're in a war zone. In Guatemala, traffic laws exist on paper, but on the road, it's survival of the fastest. Motorbikes ride the sidewalks, trucks overtake on mountain curves, taxis reverse at intersections. It's all normal. Even locals admit, driving here isn't for the faint of heart. A WHO study ranks Guatemala among the most dangerous countries in Latin America for traffic, especially on mountain roads like from Guatemala City to Antigua or the Quetzaltenango Highlands. Why so chaotic? Many reasons. Poor infrastructure, narrow roads, dangerous slopes, old vehicles, and weak traffic awareness. But above all, the authorities' powerlessness forces people to adapt with reflexes, risk-taking, or spiritual faith. If you're a tourist, honest advice: don't drive yourself unless you know the local jungle rules. Locals drive by instinct. You don't, and your hesitation could make the whole road angry. Number 2. Guatemala is extremely religious. Although over 90% of the population are Christians, it's not the rigid Catholicism of Europe. In Guatemala, traditional Catholicism is blended with indigenous Maya beliefs, creating a lively, mythical, and mysterious faith system. A church might hang a Virgin Mary picture next to a corn god statue, and Maya priests are still invited to perform cleansing rituals at Catholic weddings. Because it's so sacred,
Any jokes about the Virgin Mary, Jesus, rituals, or figures like Maximon are serious taboos. In many villages, you might be asked to leave if you laugh at a statue of a god dressed like a salsa singer. But don't get it wrong, this isn't superstition. For locals, Maximon is a native god combining darkness and light, able to bless or curse, always worshipped with liquor, cigars, and fresh flowers. In Santiago Atitlan, the center of Maximon worship, the statue is paraded yearly, and only chosen people can carry or even look into his eyes. Many believe mocking these rituals brings silent bad luck, lost wallets, slips, or nightmares for 3 nights. For them, you don't have to believe, but if you witness it, you must respect it. Number 1. Wasting food is a major taboo. You can order whatever you want in Guatemala, but one unspoken rule is, don't leave food behind. No one will fine you. No one will say anything. But the look from your server, maybe a single mom or a student working after class, will be enough to make you realize leaving food isn't careless, it's heartless. Why is this small thing such a culture shock? Simple. In Guatemala, food is sacred. It's survival. According to the UN, 2/3 of Guatemalans live on less than $2 a day. 60% of people under 20 suffer chronic malnutrition, the highest in the Americas and among the top 6 globally. In indigenous areas, it can be 70%, even 90%. For Maya communities, food is spiritual. Every corn kernel is a gift from the earth goddess, not to be wasted. Children are taught, waste a grain, lose a day of rain. So if you visit Guatemala, whether in a cozy restaurant or a small folk party, order just enough. If you have leftovers, please pack them up. No one will judge you for eating little, but they'll remember if you waste food. What about you? When you travel, do you pay attention to food waste? Or would you like us to suggest some delicious Guatemalan dishes? Share your thoughts in the comments. Guatemala, a small country on earth, but full of strange and taboo things that can surprise anyone. If you found these facts interesting, don't forget to comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel to discover more amazing stories from around the world.